Hey, all my crafty friends and all of my Christmas card making friends that I have acquired. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, definitely hit it. Hit that subscribe button. I have gained so many new friends here. I wanted just to say hello and introduce myself. So I am Kay with Create with Kay. Pretty new to card making, not so new to scrapbooking. So this channel is definitely a little mix of both. And right now we are in the tail end of my Christmas in July series. So I have been trying to make something Christmas every day of July and getting a video up for you guys. I've slacked a little bit in the end. I'm trying really hard. Baseball and life is just kind of getting in the way. And I own a photography business and had a few sessions. And, so that's my first income. So we are doing some tags today, though. I got this old tag builder set, I think from my favorite things. I think it was my favorite things. It's no longer available, unfortunately. Sorry. Uh, I try and use as many things, but I get a lot of stuff off of buy, sell, like buy, sell, swap sites type thing, craft sites. And that just means like a lot of people are selling their old things, but it's new to me. and it's cheaper. So sorry. I'm sure there's tag sets out there. I know there's tag sets out there, to be honest with you. I shouldn't even say. I'm also using paper from my stash, guys. I've said this several times in this series that I have so much Christmas pattern paper that I'm really trying to use the pattern paper, whether it be the inside of envelopes or tags like this. It's the perfect way to use all of that pattern paper and all of your scraps. Look at this. I'm using a scrap of white paper that was from the other day. I think this is actually from making envelopes the other day. Just didn't use the whole piece of paper. And making the ring for my tags. There we go, rings. Okay. So, like I said, I believe it was either Mama Elephant or My Favorite Things. I always get those two mixed up. I just used this emerald green, which I found this after I made some envelopes for emerald green cards. And I'm like, oh, well, this paper would have been perfect for that. I'm going to go through and make some more envelopes. I think I have a few more. Well, we have a few more days in July. So I'm going to make a video on some envelopes, and then I have a few more cards that I really do want to knock out. And then at the end of the month, I'm going to wrap up and do a video of all of the cards that I got done and kind of show you a wrap up of everything. And then we're going to move on to October Daily, I think. I need to wrap that up and get back into a little bit of scrapbooking. And then mix in some cards. And it will get back to kind of regular content around here. All right, so I did that. I then realized I needed a bigger one for my acetate. So this is kind of where the project kind of derailed. My acetate that I have is film transparency is what I have, and it would not cut with a die. I could have swore I seen you can cut acetate with a die. Now, I do cut on a metal or on the magnetic cutting plate. Let me know if that was my issue, if you've ever cut acetate. This is my first time cutting acetate, and I wonder if I should have gotten two plates out, like two cutting plates, and maybe, I don't know. I just cut into my magnetic cutting mat. I know that's not how you're supposed to do it, but these are not that expensive, and they last pretty long. So let me know. It didn't go well, guys. This just like folded up. I ended up even trying to do it with like a circle punch. Didn't work. So I ended up having, unfortunately, to cut them by hand. I was just like, you know what? We're just going to cut them by hand today, and we'll come back to this and figure out why this acetate. Maybe I have the wrong acetate. So, all right. So we are just going to take off the plastic to my little grip mat that I have in here. This was hard because you couldn't see where you were stamping. I don't know a better way to stamp acrylic, so if you have any suggestions, let me know. But I am using Simon Says stamps. Oh gosh. These are like little ornaments that you can make. I got this last year. This is the holiday messages ornaments. I will link it below if it is still available. I think this is another Christina Warner. If you haven't noticed, I'm a huge Christina Warner stamp fan. I think that this is her handwriting. It doesn't really say on here if it doesn't really say. And so I was embossing, white heat embossing the acetate. Now, I will say that honestly, this acetate did very well with the heat, which I was kind of surprised. I just like, as you can see there, I am not holding that heat on there for very long, like very long at all. I'm like, I move it on and move it off, move it on. And it did even get even easier as my heat gun got even hotter. So there I was showing you how that worked out. Worked out great. The last one is the only one that didn't work out all that well. And that's because I misstamped it at first and then tried to rub it off and then added more anti-static powder. It just got a little rough. Well, and then I came down today and realized while I was doing this project, I left my Versamark open. I haven't decided if I want to get a new Versamark pad or if I just want to get the re-inker. My pad is dirty, so though it helps me sometimes see it better, I think I might just get a new pad and then a re-inker on top of it. So we'll see, because yeah, I mean, I left it open for like a full almost 24 hours. So it was already getting dry on top of it. So it probably is pretty dry. All right. So there's my second one. Now I'm going to change to Jingle All the Way, and then we are going to start building these. They went very easily. Now, are they my favorite thing? I feel like they're a little simple. I'm new to making tags. I'm new to making cards. I'm new to making tags. I just don't have like all the like ribbons and fancy things. Like I wonder actually if I do have bells. I actually think I do have bells. I think I got them one day for December daily to put in my scrapbook, and I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. This is gonna be so much dimension. I wonder if I'm gonna open up my December daily stuff and see. This is where you're gonna see I'm gonna start struggling. I'm going to start struggling right here because I kind of had to like put the acetate down on the stamp and then stamp it because you couldn't see the acetate once you put it down on the grip mat. Like there just was not happening. So this one's a little wonky, and I was going to do a fourth one, and that was even worse. Like that one just got worse and worse. It just is getting later and later at night. It is what it is. Things, but see, I'm like wiping it off. It's not really coming off. I don't know. I just really wasn't working. And then I would stamp it, and then it wasn't lining back up the right way. I don't know what was happening like that. And I was kind of getting frustrated. So I was just like, okay, we got 3. I'm going to live with it. All right. Yeah, so you can see me pulling everything. There we go. All right, got that one. And then we're going to heat and emboss that one. Definitely use your tweezers, your reverse tweezers. Your reverse tweezers are your best friends when it comes to small things in heat embossing. They can hold those things for you and not burn your little chickadee fingers. I was looking at it because I think like there was a lot of extra embossing powder on that one. Okay, so what we're going to do here next, there's shaker tags also. So fun. I think that these have great potential. Absolutely great potential. I think I need to add some like poinsettias. I need to find like the perfect size of poinsettias and snowflakes to this one. So I know I have snowflakes that will fit this one. Again, this was like 11 o'clock at night, and I know that's not late for a lot of you crafters, but it kind of was for me, and I knew I had an early morning the next morning. So I just was like, yeah, this is as far as I'm going to get. It's July. I have time to work on these. I can add things. I can think through this project a little bit more. um, and that's exactly like I looked through some of my like snowflakes that, oh, here I am tearing that back up. I forgot to put my acetate. I'm like, oh no, I never even put my acetate layer down. So, I mean, I'm going to use a little bit of glue for this. It was such, this one especially like barely reached the edges. You're going to see me like spread the glue around, I believe, with my finger. Cause like there we go. Like this one, I knew once I like put the foam strip down, like it would be fine, but I'm like, oh, I have to get that down. My other two, I cut a little bit bigger. I realized that one was small when I was cutting it. So it was still going to fit, but it was a little small. Okay, so tip of the day is for your foam tape. If you are trying to shape your foam tape, take both of the release tapes off. So obviously unroll it and then take the other release and it molds to whatever shape, the circle shapes that you want. Easy peasy. I'm telling you, I used to struggle so much with foam tape and trying to get it to curve, and seeing this tip. So I did not make this tip up. It's not a me tip. And seeing if you just take the release tape off, it goes to whatever shape that you're needing it to go to. So that was tip of the day. You're welcome. And then shaker bits. So I also don't have a ton of shaker bits. I have sequences and I have like rhinestones that aren't really like shaker bits. And then I have like confetti, I guess you would call it. So I guess now that I am definitely getting into this, like when I went into this hobby, like I was not buying everything. I had learned my lesson in scrapbooking. Okay. Learned my lesson. I jumped back into scrapbooking in 2020 and bought all of the things. Well, a lot of all of those things are still sitting here because it's not my style. It just didn't work for me, and I still bought, like, I just didn't know at that point. I just was buying all the pretty things. So I've been trying to take it as slow as possible with card making, really making sure that I like things before I go out and buy things. So yeah, like shaker bits and shaker cards, like I use them. I do use them in scrapbooking a little bit. I'm not a huge shaker person in scrapbooking either, which it is a big thing also in that era. So, but I think I am going to invest in a small amount, nothing big, of like shaker bits and stuff to go in tags, because I mean, I kind of love it. And I ended up making a few tags last year for right before Christmas. I'm talking like the 22nd of December to put under my tree. And I just loved the way it looked. And it made my heart happy to like see them. So I think I will get some shaker bits and make some more shaker tags. So the first one you've seen there, I put too much shaker in that one. That one was a gray color and it was already pretty light. I put just a tad too much shaker. I mean, really, so I'm learning my lesson here. I'm not putting as much. But I mean, really, can you have enough shaker? I mean, sometimes I guess you can, but it's too much because it like doesn't move. So then I put these ones in there, and it like these are clear sequence. So it picked up, I didn't realize it was going to pick up so much of that green color. In there, I was really hoping they would like be more white. But I think it looked great. I love the Jingle All the Way. I love the green ones. I was hoping you would see more of the gray, but of course, like I said, I think I filled the gray one a little too much. The green one was hitting though for me, so we ended up doing 2 greens and 1 gray, whereas I originally was going to make 4. I just couldn't get that last acetate piece to work for me. Here I go again. So I've taken the release paper off of both. Now, yes, your finger, it gets a little sticky, but this foam tape guy, these foam tapes, guys, they have so much stick on them. It's not going to matter. The only thing you don't want to do is get like, that anti-static powder that's just sitting right next to it on them. You don't want to do that. Uh, so let's see. I think this one, do I grab a different shaker sequence? I don't think I do. I think by this point I was like, yeah, my decision making was a little fatigued. Do I grab? Oh, I grabbed the actual white ones. That's right. I was going to say, I felt like I did grabs. So I grabbed the actual white ones, not the clear ones, because I was like, yeah, I didn't really love the way it turned those ones green. So let's flip that over, and we actually have white. So I liked that. I liked all three of them, to get you honest. I wish I just wouldn't have packed that white one with so much, I guess. We are going to put a little bit of white and gold twine on here. Again, this is where I do feel like my skills lack, where I do see other creators just make gorgeous tags. I just don't have all of the ribbon. I don't want all of the ribbon in my office. Is that bad to say? Like, ribbon takes up a lot of space. And maybe I'll just get, and once Christmas does get here, I'm going to go and get some of that, like those packs that just like have the random ribbon in it. So I hope you guys love these. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Again, like I said, if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. I'm actually trying to get to 100 subscribers this month, and I'm 2 away. So 2 of you, can you just hit that little button? Just hit that little button. And thank you so much for watching to this point, because I'm also trying to get watch hours like a crazy maniac so that we can get this channel monetized. And I'm just like a couple hundred watch hours away, which is so far. So far. All right, here's a good close-up of those guys. And like I said, I will probably come back and do a little bit more to these. Talk to you soon.